Welcome back to the Teed Up Golf Podcast. Teed up with the winner, final one for 2025. And we're very, very lucky to be joined by a man who's been very kind to us this year in Marc Leishman, the Vic PGA winner for 2025. Mate, thank you for giving us some time.
Yeah, no worries at all. Good to be here.
Down in Warrnambool, mate, after the amazing win yesterday with the whole family there. It was a family affair over at Moonah Links. But tell us what it was like, mate, getting it done. With the young fella Harvey and yourself played the first three rounds, couldn't quite get there for the Sunday, missed on a countback, I think, which is stiff.
Yeah,
But mate,
yeah,
tell
pretty
us,
shattering.
how do you feel? First win on Aussie soil in 17 years or something like that.
Yeah, it feels good. Obviously a pretty special week playing with Harvey the first few days, and then Dad on the bag. Yeah, it's cool to be able to do that. Just sort of go home and play. And I was honestly more spectating than playing the first few days. Took it out of me actually. You're stressing over my shots and then stressing over his shots, and yeah, it was awesome. So obviously, brutally tough conditions on Sunday. Actually, Thursday and Friday weren't easy either. So
No.
um, yeah, really happy to play well, and obviously, feel a bit for Josh. I know how much he wanted to win, well, and Andrew as well. But yeah, sort of grew up playing junior golf with Josh, and I know he's got two young girls at home, so it would have, yeah, it was a tough one, but it was, yeah, good week.
It's professional golf, mate. You're all mates out there, and it's someone's got to
Exactly.
win at the end of the day. I was
Yeah.
talking to Cam, John, and Mika about that. I played the Thursday and Friday, and it was brutal. We shot 8 on Thursday and shot +2 or something on Friday.
Yeah.
Bit cooked. It
Yeah.
was which course? So obviously it's the split courses there, the Legends and the Open. Which course did you prefer out of the two?
I had never played the Legends, played that completely blind in a wind that I don't think it's designed for. So it was really, I found that quite difficult actually.
Yeah,
The pins were tough. It was a great golf course though. And then the Open course, it's a proper championship course.
yeah.
That it's tough, and they could make it as tough as they wanted to. They could grow some rough and get the greens as quick as they like, and the condition of it was unbelievable. I probably preferred the Open course for a championship course, but I think the Legends course was really fun. I think the members down there at Moonah Links have got something pretty special. It's you don't hear about it too much, like you do about the National or PK, but it's or St Andrews Beach for that matter. But it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more, mate. It's bloody tough out there. The overall experience of the last 4 weeks, mate. I want to chat to you about that before we talk about the week that was you just played in. You've had a really busy schedule. Kicked off with Saudi, into the Aussie PGA, into the Aussie Open, into Cathedral, into the Vic PGA. You went to live golf, I guess, to spend a bit more time with family and play a little bit less golf. But
Yep.
this little, I know you played in Australia for 4 weeks out of the last 7, so you've given a heap back.
Yep.
But how's that been for you? Back playing you're going back to 4-round golf next year. But how was that for you getting the reps in, I guess?
It was awesome. I mean, I had 6 weeks off before the WA Open, which is a good little off season in itself. And I don't play a whole lot of golf when I'm not at tournaments, so I needed to play something. So I didn't go 3 months without really playing golf. That wouldn't have been too good for my Australian Open and PGA preparation. So I played, yeah, obviously WA Open and the Philippines International Series, then another 3 weeks off. So it's a good opportunity to come back and support the Australian events and events that I love playing. Come back, you've got time to prepare for them, and seeing a lot of friends as well. It's fun playing them and seeing guys you haven't seen for a while, and honestly seeing kids out there watching. And I actually heard a story. I did a radio interview this morning with SEN, and I gave a couple of brothers some golf balls. They were young. They were probably between 5 and 10, and they were following it on Sunday, the golf, and then they added to their Christmas list that they wanted a golf club and some balls and golf balls so they could play golf. So that's the sort of stuff that's really good, and where it probably created memories for not only the kids but their mum and dad as well. So yeah, loving being back, and yeah, it's a lot of golf, but I've also got 6 weeks off after this too, before the first event in Saudi. So I'll definitely be well rested.
Beautiful, mate. I can just see from the impact, obviously being we're front and centre with the Aussie golf scene, the impact yourself, Herbie playing New South Wales, Cam, pushing it all the way at the Aussie Open, and the rest of the Aussie guys who come in from overseas, the impact you guys are having on what you can have. It's hard enough through winter. There's no golf here, but when you're here, it's just goes up a level. And the WA Open, the crowds were phenomenal. They were out. If the weather was better, I'm guaranteed they would have been out there on Sunday
Yeah.
at Moonah Links. But yeah, awesome. And Aussie Open was something else. Mate, I want to chat to you about your young fella Harvey. I spoke to you in Perth, and you're really excited about this event down at Moonah Links, coming back to peg it up with him. He's only young, but I saw him on the range, and it made me feel extremely inept as not only a golfer but a human being. He looks like he can hit the ball well. But what was that like for you? Obviously, with Trooper on the bag as well, which ran into him after the first day, and he's a bit worse for wear, the old boy. So he had 3 rounds to go. But what was that like? Firstly, pegging it up with Harvey, something I guess every dad would love to do in the tournament conditions. But can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, it was awesome. Just a great, a unique opportunity for me and him to be able to, play a tournament, for him to experience what it's like to be out there and in a professional event with, some people watching and some cameras. Um, he was pretty surprised about how tucked the pins were. He's like, man, these pins are tough. I'm like, yeah, well, that's how they make the courses hard.
Him and me both.
Yeah, but it was pretty special to be out there with him, just to see the look on his face when he hit some good shots and see how he handled it when he didn't hit good shots. So it was a great few days. Yeah, obviously disappointed not to make it through to Sunday. I thought I birdied. Well, when I birdied the last Saturday, I thought that was to get through to Sunday for him as well. Well, for him, and then I found out about the countback, and he was pretty shattered. He actually thought I was joking when I told him he's not playing tomorrow. But I did say to him, I'm like, does this make you want to be a pro golfer more or less than before? And he's like, way more. So,
Wow.
So yeah, he's got a fair bit of game, and his short game's good. His temperament's, is good as well. So
Yeah.
obviously, as you know, a lot has to go right to become a pro golfer and then a successful pro golfer. But who knows? It's he's still playing all other sports too. So I love that also.
Yeah, nice. Mate, it was great to see you guys out there together and to see the look on your face, even just on the TV when you hit some good shots Saturday and stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah.
There was the full Leishman experience out there. I think you had a nephew on the bag for Harvey.
Yep, Sam was out there, and then my younger boy Ollie was out there as well, walking around for a while. So it was a full family experience.
Yeah, the beauty of Aussie golf. You had your dad, Paul, Trooper, on the bag. He said, I'll have to call him Trooper, not Paul anymore.
Yeah.
It's a tough walk at Moonah. How did he go? But he said he wasn't having a beer Thursday afternoon when I saw him, but then he went and got one. So obviously it was tough. But how was that having dad on the bag, for a win? He's obviously been the guy who drove you to all your sports, being a Warrnambool boy. Some K's in the car as a kid, but what was it like to share that with him out on the bag, at the age you're at now?
Yeah, it was awesome. He's caddied for me once before in a pro event. He caddied for me at the John Deere Classic in Moline, Illinois. It was about 40 degrees and humid. Luckily, I missed the cut because I don't reckon it would have been too good for him if I had made it and he had to go another couple of days. I remember we got to the British Open, which was the week after, and his big toenail fell off a couple of days after we got there. So he's still got all his toenails intact. He was sort of surprised where he found out he had to carry the bag because we're in the last 6 groups on Saturday and Sunday, and he didn't mind it. I thought he might have, handed the reins over to another mate of mine, Simon Williamson, was down there and caddied for me on the back nine Saturday, but Dad was really determined to get the whole lot in on Sunday. So he did really good. We enjoyed a few beers last night around a fire, and with Sam and Harvey, the rest of the family came back to Warrnambool. But it's just awesome. That's what golf is, right? Like you can spend time with, whether it's your friends or your family or people you've never met. I was lucky enough to play the first 2 rounds with Connor McDade, who I'm obviously pretty close with, and Simon Marshall, who I'd never met, and just had an awesome time and met. Like, he's just a ripping fella, and Paul, who we played with Saturday as well, like, just great people. And that's the cool thing about golf is you meet new people and you can spend time with your loved ones as well. So feel very fortunate to be able to do what I do.
Just awesome, mate. Trooper did tell me something over in WA that you initially asked him to be your amateur partner for this event at
Yeah,
a pub when you're at the Open. Is there any truth to
yeah.
that rumor?
There is truth to that rumor, and it must have been on the Sunday night because he can't remember it. So he's like, "Oh, I want to play." I said, "I asked you." He said he didn't want to, and he's like, "I don't remember that." No, yeah. So it was, yeah, it must have been the Sunday night. We did have a few after the golf on Sunday, and yeah, but it worked out perfectly for him to be able to be there and caddy and watch Harvey and watch Sam out there. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, favourite shot from the week. Obviously, Warrnambool-like conditions, or probably worse than Warrnambool-like conditions yesterday. Arvo was, it was a real test of golf. Some of the shots, I was at home watching it on tally. Obviously, playing the course earlier in the week, I was like, why are the Tro's only hitting it there? But it
Yeah.
was obviously very inclement. Do you have a shot where you look back and go, I learned that when I was about 15 around the ball?
Um, yeah, I mean, there's a few. I actually hit a shot on what was it, 15, 14 yesterday. I hit a really good tee shot and hit it into a massive divot.
That was on
So
tally.
yeah, I remember that one. That was probably the worst divot I've ever been in. Actually, I was pretty happy to get that on the green from about 60 meters.
Mm.
But I think the tee shot, second shot, and chip on 18th yesterday. Playing the last, tied for the lead. Obviously, there's big bunkers on 18. To hit that tee shot as good as I did, I hit 4 iron for my second shot, and then hit it just off the back edge of the green, and then hit a really good chip with a 6 iron. So it was yeah, a fun 3 shots. Nice to feel them coming out the middle of the face when you're under pressure. That's the thing that I'm really big on, I guess, is when I'm under pressure, just concentrate and hit in the middle of the face, and feel like not much can go wrong from there. So I hit the middle of the face 3 times in a row, and then was close enough that I didn't have to worry about the putt too much.
Unreal, mate. It was so good to see you out there. 2025 was a great year for you. Obviously, 2 wins. You won on Live Golf. And then you've won this, and you've had a T3 at the Oz PGA and a T3 at the WA Open, and then had a
Yeah.
pretty decent Aussie Open. Where do you
Yep.
rate 2025 in terms of your career?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up there. Obviously, 2017 I won twice. Won the BMW and the Arnold Palmer Invitational. I remember the first 3 months of that year was actually very ordinary. I wasn't in the Masters. I hadn't really done a whole lot. My confidence was low. And then you go out and win one of the biggest tournaments of the year, Bay Hill. So that was a good year. But this one was probably one of my most consistent years, I'd say. Just obviously the win in Miami, I'd been close a few times on Live and not got across the line. So to get across the line there on a course that's as tough as it is was good in not too dissimilar conditions to what they were on yesterday. So yeah, 2 wins for the year. And as you get older too, you don't know when you're going to win again. So I feel fortunate to have had a couple this year. It's definitely in top two, but every win's different, and
Yeah.
it's hard to compare wins. But I'd say as far as years go, it would definitely be top two.
Nice, mate. Well, mate, thanks for being so kind to us on this pod medium. You've been really good to us this year, and we're looking forward to seeing what 2026 hold for Leish and the Rippers, mate. We'll see you in Adelaide in a few weeks.
No worries. Thanks, Q. Appreciate
Good
it.
on you.